This episode was very, not necessarily lovey-dovey, but there was a lot of different love stories that were being kind of fleshed out in this episode. You have the two hottie doctors and then Nurse Britney, right? So that was one little thing going on. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lord, poor Britney. I feel for her, I do. And oh my god, that was awkward. I couldn't even watch. Do you guys ever do that thing where, like, you're watching something and, like, the characters, it's like an awkward situation and you just can't bring yourself to watch them mess up and be embarrassed? I just couldn't do it. It was bad. So, poor Britney and McAndrew, although I like that she punched him. Way to go, girl. Well, not really. I mean, he didn't deserve that. But, you know, it's a good story to tell. We had the Kira and the Hunter thing, which I think is very cute. And I like, too, that there is a little bit of an attempt at slut-shaming, but that really wasn't the center of everything. There was, you know, Nurse Jackson was saying something in the beginning, and we all kind of assumed that she's pretty much telling her not to, you know, go having sex in the toilets. But it really turns out to be something more than that, where it's just like, we don't have to rush. There's no need to. But if you want to have sex, cool, go ahead. But what people were more afraid of was her being hurt, you know, because he's sick and she's sick, and sick kid relationships don't always turn out that great. Death is kind of like the third wheel when you're a sick kid in a relationship, you know, and one day it's gonna stop wanting to be ignored. So the other thing we have going on is the movie star comes in for exhaustion. I don't know what that means. I don't get it. You can't, like, I mean, I guess technically if you have that kind of position, you can come in for exhaustion, but really most doctors don't actually like admitting people. Just from experience, you want to try something at home first. And then there's a whole thing with Dash and Jordy, which I think is cute. I like that Dash is getting some, or he was gonna get some before Jordy came in and was like the biggest. That was kind of evil. I mean, really selfish little bastard. Let Dash have his hot movie star hospital makeout session, possibly sex. Why can't no one have sex in this episode? Jeez, it's kind of infuriating. It's like they're really close and then everyone just keeps messing it up. So the thing with Jordy trying to get emancipated, I think that's kind of an interesting battle for him, trying to earn his freedom. I think when you are sick, taking care of medical stuff is much harder than it seems. I think that they make it seem like it's just a few doctor's appointments and some insurance, but it's not. It's a full-time job. My mom quit her job to take care of me really a few years ago when I got really sick, and it takes a lot to deal with someone who has a full-time illness, especially if Jordy doesn't go into full recovery. So that's gonna be rough for him. So then we have the thing going on with Emma and Leo. It doesn't look very good. I feel like one of the things that would be really helpful for her, just kind of to heal, is to be honest. Like Leo said, I think that Leo does get that part of her, that she needs to be honest with people. You really do need to be truthful and genuine with people when you're sick. You're not going to get better if you're trying to be something for somebody else. And that's what Emma does a lot. You kind of see that, like, in her whole personality and her style. She's definitely trying to be something for everyone. And it's gonna kill her. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but it is. I love when Emma tries to take off, like, okay, so Emma's going to take off the red band at the end of the episode because she's going home and, like, to set it on her pillow and stuff, and she just pulls it off and sets it. Do you know how hard those things are to get off? They're like freaking, like, dig into your skin. They either make them really, really tight, where, like, you have to, when you move them down, like, your hand gets all sweaty because they're there, and so then they get sticky, and then you try and pull them down, and then you have, like, lines on your wrist from where they were. Or they make them way too loose, and they just fall off all the time. It's the most annoying thing ever. The only way to deal with them is with scissors. You can never just, like, take them off gracefully. It's like, it's a shit show. Oh, and Leo's growing out his hair, and it's at that, like, kind of cute phase where it's, like, not, like, long enough to be considered hair. It just looks like someone, like, painted, like, he has a little helmet. It's cute. I mean, like, you kind of just want to touch it. Do you guys want to just kind of, like, every time I see someone who has, like, a really closely shaved head, I just want to go up behind them and be like, they would get a restraining order. I love Kira putting the heart monitor on the old guy. That wouldn't work because you would have to take it off and then it would be off. I mean, maybe Nurse Jackson would just think that like she'd pulled it on accident and stuck it back on. But I get it. It was still funny. I have such a weird like medical brain where like I'm trying to figure out like the medical facts of everything, and I have to remember that this isn't a documentary, Claire. Anyway, I think that's it.